Hey Westlight, today I wanted to talk to you about boundaries again and continue the conversation that I started last month about how boundaries are like our property line that help define who we are and what we're responsible for and what we own for and how we can grow and nurture and care for our heart and our soul and our mind. So I thought, it would be helpful for us to think about the last 15 months living in our little boundary of COVID and think about what are some things that we learned that were good. What are some things that we learned about ourselves that we need to grow in, and how do we want to live our lives going forward? And so the good, the growth, and going forward. I took some time reflecting and journaling and thinking about the last 15 months in terms of these 5 factors. Family relationships. Maybe you have a family that loves to get together all the time. That's a factor that we need to take into consideration when shaping our boundaries. But maybe you learned you don't want to spend as much time with your family because you weren't able to during COVID. Maybe you are married or you have young children that really take up a lot of attention and time. Or maybe you have children that are like a lot of activities and you have to drive them around a lot. Maybe you realize, I don't mind not driving them around all the time. Maybe you have aging parents that you need to take care of. All those family responsibilities are important factors that help shape our boundaries. The other one was fun things. What do you do to nurture your own mental, physical, and emotional and spiritual health in terms of like church activities, exercising, fun things that you love to do that give you life and give you joy, and also where you are in your life. So like maybe, you're thinking about your age, whether you're young and you have a lot of energy or you're on the older side and you're tired all the time. Or maybe if you have a disability or someone in your family has a disability or illness or some kind of loss in terms of maybe, loss of a job, a loss of a marriage, a loss of a close relationship, a child or a breakup. A lot of COVID really, it was so strenuous on our relationships. And also think about your personality. Again, I think, whether you're extrovert or introvert, whether you love spontaneity or you like schedule, whether you like your schedule empty or you like your schedule full, like what did you learn in terms of how you lived in this COVID life and how did your personality impact that, and your vocation, maybe the hours that you worked, the amount of stress that you have at your job and the amount of energy that you need to expend, all of that helps shape our boundaries, right? One of the things that I learned was that when I'm under stress, I like to do things. Like I will immediately start thinking about the things that I need to do. And that's something that I really want to think about and grow in, that maybe rushing into action isn't probably the best reaction, right? I need to respond and maybe pause and think about, why am I reacting this way? And maybe I need to just sit with my feelings. Another thing that I learned was that I really don't like shopping, and that pre-COVID going grocery shopping and meal planning just was so stressful. But I love online shopping, and so if there's still curbside service, I might still use it even when COVID's over. Going forward, in terms of my time, I think that's where I really want to consider, like, pause and draw a boundary based on what is going on considering those 5 factors. And being okay, like I was okay saying no to some things because of COVID. But maybe I can learn to say no to some things based on, what? That doesn't work for me. I really want to do that, but it doesn't work for me. So I hope that was helpful and will give you some structure to think about what you want your life to look for and how you can draw boundaries to, really nurture and take care of your heart and your soul and your mind going forward.